Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, my friends, and welcome back to Westball, the home of explanation of the Holy Qur'an from a Shia perspective. Two different explanations are used. Today's explanation is by Al-Mizan, while the other are by Ayatul Apoya Yazdi. If you are new to this channel, kindly consider subscribing to support this work of bringing to you the explanation of the Holy Qur'an. Also consider sharing this with anyone who might benefit from it, be they Sunni, Shia or non-Muslim. Thank you, and let's start.
Bismillahir-Rahmanir-Rahim.
In the name of Allah, the All-Merciful, the Ever-Merciful, this surah was revealed in Mecca and consists of 5 verses. It is a severe warning to Abu Lahab and his wife for destroying themselves, ruining their deeds, and heading for hell. First verse.
تبت يدا أبي لهب وتب.
Perish Tabat, from Tab and Tabab, the hands of Abu Lahab, and perish he Taba. There are a number of meanings offered for Tab and Tabab. Loss and destruction, according to a Jori. Perpetual loss, according to a Ragib. Failure, being devoid of any good. All these meanings are very close. The hand is the limb by which one seeks one's goals and to which the majority of one's acts are ascribed. The tabab, failure, destruction of hands, is a way of saying that one's efforts and actions, which one typically does with one's hands, result in a loss. In other words, the deeds which one performs by one's hands are rendered void. Their deeds do not give the desired outcome, and the person does not find any benefit from them. The second tabba indicates a loss of oneself, where one loses one's soul due to being deprived from eternal happiness. That amounts to everlasting destruction. Perish the hands of Abu Lahab, and perish he. Given the above, there are 2 possible interpretations for this verse. 1. It is an imprecation against Abu Lahab, saying, may he be destroyed, may his attempts to put out the light of prophethood be in vain. 2. It describes God's judgment against him. The chapter is about Abu Lahab ben Abd al-Muttalib, who was the Prophet's uncle and a relentless enemy of his. He persistently denied the Prophet and did not hesitate to do anything within his ability to harass God's messenger, both verbally and practically. He is the one who told the Prophet, may you perish. Taban Laka, when the Prophet called his relatives to Islam the first time. Thus this chapter was revealed, where God returned his imprecation to him. Here are some views concerning his name. Abu Lahab was his given name, even though it is in the form of a kunya title. His name was Abaid al-Uzza. His name was Ab Manaf. His real name was Abi al-Uzza, meaning servant of Uzza. But that is not mentioned here because Uzza was a pagan idol. God did not want to refer to someone as a servant of another god, even if that was their name, because everyone is a servant of Allah. The use of kunya here instead of his given name is derogatory because Abu Lahab literally means father of flame. Comment. The last view is the most plausible explanation. Abu Lahab suggests some connection with fire flames. Singular Lahab. This is like some people being nicknamed Abu al-Ka, which means father of good, Abu al-Fagad, which means father of virtue, or Abu al-Shah, which means father of evil, because they are associated with good, virtue or evil, respectively. Therefore, when we read below, soon he will enter a blazing fire, it is like saying, perish the hands of this hellish man, and may the flames of hell adhere to him. Second verse.
ما أغنى عنه ماله وما كسب.
His wealth availed him not ma'agna, nor what he had earned makasaba. The verse's meaning is that neither his wealth nor his deeds, or the consequences of his deeds, will protect him from the destruction of his soul and his hands. Or, this is a destruction which is either decreed against him or imprecated against him. Third verse.
سيصلى نارا ذات لهب.
Soon he will enter, yasla, a blazing fire. The verb yasla means yadkulu, he enters. A blazing fire is the eternal fire of hell. The indefinite form of a blazing fire emphasizes its immensity and horror. Fourth verse.
وامرأته حمالة الحطب.
And his wife too. the firewood carrier, Hamalat al-Hatab. The conjunction and at the beginning of this verse connects his wife to the pronoun in the last verse. Soon he will enter. The meaning is, his wife will also soon enter. 5th verse.
في جيدها حبل من مسد.
With a rope of palm fiber, Masad around her neck. Masad is a rope made of twisted fibers. His wife used to carry thorny branches and similar annoyances and cast them on the path of the Prophet at night to harass him. Apparently what is meant by these 2 verses is that when she enters hellfire on the day of resurrection, she will be in the same form that she used to be in this world. She will be punished in hell while she carries firewood, with a rope of palm fiber around her neck. Majma al-Bayan says, question, was it still incumbent on Abu Lahab to believe after the revelation of this surah? And could he believe? If he believed, would he not be proving God's revelation wrong? For he says, soon he will enter a blazing fire. Response, it was still obligatory for him to believe, because that is irrevocable. However, the threats in this chapter are conditional on his refraining to believe. This question is based on a flawed premise. It misses the fact that God's irrevocable decree applies to voluntary human actions. Therefore, the divine decree does not negate or nullify free will, nor cause one to do a certain act out of compulsion. When God wills a voluntary agent to do something, he wills the person to do so by their volition. If they perform the act by being transformed into an involuntary being, then God's will is not fulfilled because his will was for the act to be done by a voluntary agent. That is an impossibility. And if the act which is firmly decreed by God is to be done by choice, then the person also has the choice not to do it, even though in reality they perform the act. The reader should reflect on this. We have already discussed this in several places. Therefore, we can say that Abu Lahab could have believed and saved himself from the fire, but he chose not to do so. It was irrevocably decreed for him to enter hell due to his voluntary denial. The same idea can be seen in other verses which forecast the denial of the disbelievers among the Quraysh, such as for the faithless, it is the same to them whether you warn them or do not warn them, they will not have faith. The word has certainly become due against most of them, so they will not have faith. The same applies to verses which discuss the sealing of hearts, examining narrations, concerning, and warn the nearest of your kin. Ibn Abbas said, when this verse was revealed, the Prophet climbed Mount al-Safa and said, urgent news. The Quraysh gathered around him and said, what is it? If I were to tell you that an enemy is about to attack you the next morning or evening, of course we would. In that case, he said, I'm here to warn you of an intense imminent torment. May you perish. Abu Lahab retorted, is this why you gathered us all around? Thus God revealed, perish the hands of Abu Lahab. Tariq al-Muharibi said, I was in Du al-Majaz market when I came across a young man saying, O people, say, there is no God but God, La ilaha illa Allah, and you shall be delivered. I saw another man following him and pelting him with rocks. The young man's calves and heels were bleeding because of that. The older man was crying, hey everyone, this man is a liar. Don't believe what he says. Who is this? I inquired. They said, this younger man is Muhammad, who believes to be a prophet, and this older man is his uncle Abu Lahab, who believes that he is a liar. But Imam al-Kazim said, one of the Prophet's miracles was when Jamil, the wife of Abu Lahab, came to him after this chapter was revealed. Abu Bakr bin Abi Quhafa, who was with the Prophet, said, O Messenger of God, here comes Jamil, looking for you enraged. She is carrying a rock that she is planning to throw at you. She cannot see me, the Prophet assured him. She came forward and asked Abu Bakr, where's your buddy? Wherever God wills him to be. I'm looking for him. If I see him, I shall definitely stone him, for he has vilified me. By Allah and Al-Azza, I'm a poetess and can easily retaliate. Then when she left, Abu Bakr asked, O Messenger of God, didn't she see you? No. God cast a veil between me and her. Authors comment. Similar accounts to this are also reported through several sunny chains of transmission. 4. Concerning and his wife too, the firewood carrier. Tafsir al-Qami says, she was Jamil, the daughter of Saka. She used to gossip about the messenger of God and transmit his news to the disbelievers. That brings us to the end of this wonderful surah that serves to remind us as an emphasis on that neither wealth nor status can protect against divine justice. It also highlights the inevitability of accountability for one's actions and the futility of opposing God's truth, and how difficult our dear Holy Prophet's life was. So we may learn and take heart that no matter the difficulties of ours, our holy prophets and holy imams had it much tougher. I hope you enjoy this. May Allah bless you. Take care.